Hey guys, welcome back. It's Kims. I would like to start by thanking everyone for your support in my previous tutorial. So in today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create an Android game with virtual joystick, as you can see on my screen. And I'll be showing you how to do a setup to export on Android for any games in the future. So I would like everyone to help me grow my channel by subscribing, sharing, and also massive thanks to those all who support me through Patreon or iChio. That's helped me create and keep me motivated every time with more and more content similar to this one. So guys, we will start and let's dive. So now that Godot is open, let's go click on create new project. We're going to rename that project. Let's rename it as the Slayer. And make sure that you're on mobile. We're going to click on browse and look for a folder where to save it. So right click, create a new folder, and we're going to name it as the Slayer mobile. You can rename it whatever you want, but for me, I'm just going to keep something like Slayer mobile. Click on select the current folder, make sure and click on create. Right now that we are in Godot, first let's go to project settings. I'm going to change a few settings. So let's start with Windows. So we're going to start with the width of the window. I'm going to go for 1920 and the viewport height is going to be 1080, right? Let's scroll down here. We're going to look for the stretch mode, and in the mode, we're going to select canvas item. Now that this is done, I'm going to go to filter, and in filter, I'm going to write texture and change the texture, the default texture filter from linear to the nearest. Let's delete this. We're going to change the more important setting, which is the input device in pointing. We're going to emulate the touch from the mouse. Let's make sure that these two options are enabled. Now we can click on close. Now I'm going to import my asset behind the scene. Then I will show it to you later. Let's go first to project and project settings. I'm going to come to here. Now my asset are importing with a slight delay. My asset have imported perfectly. Now from this point of view, we're going to go to maximum FPS and we're going to change it to 60. And we can check something here. In down here, you can see that the FPS should be set at 60. Let's close this. So I'm going to create a couple of folders to hold my scripts and most of my scenes. So I will start with Autoload. And second one is going to be effects. Right. And third one is going to be enemies. Just like my folders to be organized in a manner that everything should be in the folder where it belongs or more order. Because this project seems to be small, but once you are working on a bigger project, this can be very confusing for you. So I would advise you to always make sure that your folders are organized. So let's right click on that folder. We're going to add a script. Let's rename that script as, I'm going to rename this script as Kill Manager and click on create. So my Kill Manager script is going to hold few statistics. So I'm just going to make it behind the scene. As you can see, I use an extended nodes simple script. Then I use a signal and few variables and a function to count how many goblins I have killed. So nothing really big and nothing really complicated. As I said, you can see there is a signal and a variable down here, which holds the numbers of kills, and this function, which can be called every time a goblin is killed. And lastly, here, as you can see, this block of function checks if the goblin's kills reach 10%, right? So let's go back to project settings. I'm going to go to global. Now I need to make sure that my kill manager is an autoload. So look for the folder Autoload. You're going to double click on that script and come and press this small add icon. Now it's an Autoload. This is how you set the script global. Now we can call it from any script. Right. Now click on this small arrow. We're going to use a control node type to create our main menu. Rename that root node as main menu, and we're going to save it in my menus folder. Right. So click on 2D. Now, as you can see, I can press on this rectangle to fill the old screen size. Then I'm going to lock it. Now, as you can see, I can't move the root node anymore. It's really useful that way. I'm going to enable grids. Right. I'm going to enable snap to grid as well. Now, in my texture folder, I have, like most of my tutorial, I've made a mixture of many type of assets. So I've created this background that I want to use for most of my menus. So I'm just going to click to root node and add the child node a texture rect. We're going to rename the texture rect as background. Now that it's done, I'm just going to come and drag and drop my image there. First of all, let's set the rectangular shape to fill the old screen size, and I'm going to press on this lock to lock the node. Now I can't move it anymore, right? Which is really helpful. Right now that it's set, I kind of feel like I need to make it a little bit dark. So we're going to go to the inspector, invisibility. I'm going to self-modulate it to something darker a little bit. Not too much, but let's say something like this. So I'm going to set all the RGBs to 155. Right. Done. As you can see now, I feel like it's kind of good. Now you see this set of tools. There is a scale, rotate, and move, but you can use them through your keyboard using Q for move, Q for select mode, J for move, R for rotate, but I cannot rotate a type of texture rect. Let's go back to our main menu. I'm gonna right click, add a child node. I'm gonna add a label. If you're wondering what a label is a node using Godot to display text on screen. It's pretty useful. I use it very often in Godot. So in the text in the inspector, I'm going to write the name of my game, which is the title of my game. So we're going to come down here in theme override. You're going to go to fonts. I need to add my font. So I'm going to click on quick load. As you can see, quick load will show me all the fonts that's inside my texture or inside the whole project. So I can close it. Now let me show you which folder contains the fonts. As you can see, my fonts are here. Now where you'll find the link to the folder and all the assets down in my description. So I'm going to select the fonts tab. If I'm going to change few settings as well, you can change whatever you want. But for me here, I'm going to change the outline size and the font size. I need something way big. So 120 seems not to be big enough. So I'm going to go with 180 maybe. Set it in the middle of the screen. Right. As you can see, this seems to be pretty good. So this part is the part that takes me a lot of time. Try to actually center everything and set every single node on my menu or even level what it should be. Pretty useful as well. Now, as you can see, this text isn't centered, so you gotta press on center. And you change also the horizontal and vertical alignment. Now I lock it. I can press Ctrl L on my keyboard to lock it directly. Let's go again to the menu home, right click, add a child node. Now we're gonna add button. Let's add a button. Then I'm just gonna come in and scale up a little bit the button and set it below the title of the game. And try to resize it to something way more reasonable. Like right, seems to fit the screen perfectly. So I'm gonna click on that one and press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Let's rename the first one as start. Second one, I'm gonna name it as store. Third one, I don't know, maybe something like info, though I don't really need to give info, maybe settings or something like that. And last one, quit. I'm going to delete the button 5. I don't need it. Right, now let's press on the first one, add to the last one, and maintain shift on your keyboard. I'm going to do a multiple selection. Let's go to theme override. In my theme override, I'm going to change a few things like the font size. I'm going to switch to 40. The font itself, click on preload small icon. I'm using this one. Now that it's done, I'm going to go to inspector, and for each button, I'm going to name it according to what it's meant to do, like every button and its function. So for each button, it's going to be start, store, info, and quit. Quit, leave, whatever you want, but I prefer to say quit. Now that I've got them, I'm going to select all of them again. I just realized the font size is a little bit small, so I'm going to increase it a little bit. Maybe to 70, which is perfect for this game. Now, what I will recommend you here is to avoid to put the button too close to the border of the screen, because you are exporting your game to Android later, which may be different depending on the phone screen size or the phone settings. If you put one of your buttons too close to the edge of the screen, it might be cropped, or it might be sized in a wrong way and disable the button, which means you can't click on it anymore. Right. As I told you before, this part is a little bit time consuming because you have to align everything, every small details perfectly to, to set it in the middle of the screen. Let's push this a little bit up there. Now, as you can see, I've got a main menu. Let's go to main menu, and I'm going to attach a script. As you can see, I have made a mistake. So let's disconnect the script. You're supposed to attach the script to the root node, not to the background. So I'm going to go to my folder and delete that script that I just made and save. So make sure you're on the root node. Click on that small script icon. Now you have made our script. Let's go and delete this default script. What I need to do is go to inspector. In signals, I'm going to attach signals for each button on button pressed. So from start to quit, I'm going to attach for each one of them a signal. All right. Seems to be easy to put into this script. Yeah. So now that I've done that, I'm going to start with button func. So to open a store or a link in Godot, we use the function os.shell_open. Then inside those brackets, that's where you're supposed to pass your link to your website. In my case, I'm going to add a link to my store, whether it's on itch.io or Patreon or whatever. So for your game, I recommend maybe your website, your YouTube channel, or whatever you want your user to go. Right? Nothing big now. So I'm just going to leave that comment for you. For those who are going to download and purchase the project file, you're going to have some cute template. So for quit button, to quit in Godot, to use the function get 3.quit, simple quit function. For the others, I'm going to leave like that. Let's run the game. Click on select current, which is going to set our main menu as the first thing every time we run the game. Now, as you can see, if I click on start and info, nothing happened. But if I click on quit, I actually right. So back to 2D, we're going to click on the small cross, add another control, happen on. Let's first go to that and add a child node. We're going to add the texture rect. You can come down here in recent and add it. We're going to duplicate that texture rect. Now, let's go first to the root node. We're going to rename it as Joystick. The first texture rect will be renamed as, I'm going to rename it as base. And the second texture rect, I'm going to rename it as knob. Right. Let's click on Control S to save it, and we're going to save it in our player folder. We can create a new folder inside player, then I'm going to call it maybe controller, call it controller joystick, whatever you want. I'm going to keep this out. So let's go first with base. Okay, back to joystick. We're gonna lock it. Now in base, I need to change something. So we're gonna go first in transform and change its size to 200 by 200 pixel. And the keep size, we're gonna come back to it. So first of all, let's click on this quick load icon. As you can see, I can see most of the textures that have been imported in my game. So I'm looking for something like this, but since I want more precision, I'm just gonna go manually drag and drop it on my base texture. So in joysticks, as you can see, I'm looking for this, maybe this one. No, this one is a little bit small and thick, so I need this other one. As you can see now, it's rounded. Now let's go to ignore size. So which means my base will be something 200 by 200. Now for the knob, I'm gonna select this other image and put it there. I'm gonna just come here and try to center it. Right? Nothing too big. So I'm gonna also ignore size in the texture section, and I'm gonna go to layout in transform. So my base size can be something like 20 pixel by 20 pixel, but unfortunately it's too small. I'm going back maybe 60 by 60. So you see these numbers are not really what you should really follow. If you want a bigger joystick, you can add even something bigger. So let's attach a script to my joystick root nodes. I'm going to code this real quick behind the scene, then we'll catch on later. Right. Now that my code has been made, as you can see, I got this block here, which the class name is joystick and extend control. And we got these couples of signals. The signal will be called directly in the player script. We got these couples of export and variables, which are useful to my joystick. We got the touch. So you may think that this is a little bit complicated, but there is really nothing to be scared of. What basically my joystick does is it sends coordinates to the player. So let's say you push your joystick up, it's gonna send, let's say for y-axis -1, since in Godot going upward is minus and going down it's positive. Same for x-axis. If you go right, it's positive. If you go left, is negative. So basically what it does, it sends those signals or those coordinates to player script, even though we haven't made them yet. And a few things like a few functions like to handle the touch, and when you release the knob, it goes back into the center of the base. Basic things like that. You will find all of these scripts directly imported into the project file that I will upload on my Patreon. Now, the joystick is made, I can run the current scene. As you can see, what I told you, if I release it, it goes back to the center, and it seems to be very pleasant to play around joysticks. Yeah, it's actually very good to play around with. Go back to 2D. Back to my menu. Right. Now click on this more. Then we're gonna click on other nodes. We're gonna add a character body to the type. Let's rename that character body as character, and we're gonna save it in the player folder. We already in the player folder, as you can see here above. Click on save. Now let's add a child node to that character. We're gonna add a animated sprite 2D for the visual. Add another child node. We're gonna add a collision shape 2D, the node which is going to act as a collider. Let's start by renaming animated sprite 2D as animated sprite. Click on new sprite frame. We're gonna add a few couples of animation. So let's go back to character, add another child node. We're gonna add a progress bar, and we're gonna duplicate the progress bar. Let's rename the first one as, I'm gonna rename it as health bar. Right? And the second one, I'm gonna rename it as child bar. So now we got a life bar and a child bar. Let's go back and add another child node. We're gonna add an area 2D. Add a child node to that area 2D. We need a collision shape 2D right here. Let's rename that area as Artbox. So for those who have been following my tutorials, using this type of asset from Pixel 4 knows exactly what's needed to create a character using this type of asset. So no need for me to be explaining everything in every single detail. But things that I can explain to you is the fact that I'm using two types of progress bar, one to monitor the life and second one to monitor the charge. So basically, I'm creating an arc shape when you maintain one of the aim stick analog. Uh, it can charge the power or create a special effect, let's say shooting multiple arrows in many directions or multiple arrows at once or something like that. So you see, I'll try to customize this in my own way. You can also do whatever you want, or you can just keep it simple, maybe a rectangular shape or whatever you want. So for me, I like experimenting a lot around. I'll be playing around with this very much, I guess. The concept. Now, for the collision shape for this character, I'm just going to keep obscure shape and actually now let's add a collision shape to the earth box area. I'm going to change its color to something red like that. It's quite difficult. That, yeah. The herd box should be a little bit big, that collision shape itself. It is for now. Now, let's go back to group. In inspector, I'm going to go back to group section, and in that, I'm going to rename that group as player and make it global and click on OK. On character, add the scripts to it. So we're going to remove all these basic things, and then I'm going to make wonderful big script. So as you can see, we have couples of enum. So since you have been following me so long, or those who are new, I'm using different types of color for each character, even though I'm only using the R shade. So you need different variants for colors. I'm using black, blue, red, purple, and yellow. You got also multiple things like this function, then these variables holding the state machine, like when attacking, dead, idle, running, or things like that. We got also initialization in ready functions like I'm gonna set the elf value to maximum life variable or things like that. In physics process, we have those checks and all of these details. It's quite a lot if you have to explain everything line by line. As you can see, almost like 132 or 200 lines of code. If I keep on explaining everything in simple details, and I take us ages to all of this. So basically, it's just a moving character in a top 8 direction. Now, let's go to this player function. I'm going to duplicate that character scene and I'm going to rename it as Arche. Once rename is Arche, I'm going to click on OK, double click on that Arche, go back to 2D. Now we need to add those visual animations. Disconnect the script and let's start with animation first. So we got idle animation. So I know maybe there is an easier way to create animations, but I kind of like find it way easier for me to do things that I understand on my own way or in my own logic. So what I do is I create every animation of different color in the same animated sprite to the node. Then I'll be calling them in my script name by name by checking a certain variable. Let's say from my global script, the color chosen by the user is blue. So I'm going to tell my player scripts to look for the animation corresponding to that color. And see, I'm only using a shape for this, but later on I can implement, or you can try to implement it from your own point of understanding. You can try to implement different apps using the warrior, using the arcade, the pound, or whatever you want. Right? Now, as you can see, I'm going to just implement all of this real quick behind the scene. As you can see, now I made all these animations starting from idle to run, and each one of them with its corresponding color. So we got red, run yellow, and whatsoever. it's quite interesting to make it this way also. Right. Now that it's made, I'm gonna go to collision shape. Let's hide the third box and see now. For collision shape, I just realized that the collision shape is a little bit small, so let's try to change it a little bit. What's happening? I'm unable to actually change it, so I can do it in a manual way. Let's disable the grids a little bit, since the grid doesn't give us the freedom to change the site as we should lock it and hide it. Now rename the root node from character to Arche, and gonna now add another child node. We're gonna add the camera 2D. I need a camera following around that there. I'm gonna change the zoom to 0.7, which is good. And the position smoothing and the speed to 2 pixels per second. Now that's done, I'm gonna go to character and pass the camera that I copied from my Arche. Right. Now let's add another child node to that Arche. We're gonna add a timer, duplicate that timer. So we're gonna have first timer, which is charged for the charging when you're holding your joystick. It's gonna count how long you've been pressing that. And the second one, we're gonna rename it as combo timer. The timer is for the combo, of course. I mean, the name is pretty obvious. So let's add also an audio stream player. We're gonna duplicate it 3 times. The first one, I'm gonna name it as dev SFX. I'm gonna copy the last part and it's called SFX. The second audio stream, I'm gonna rename it as eat SFX. And last, we're gonna rename it shoot SFX. Right. Now in my texture, I have this folder full of different type of audio. I can just implement them as I wish. So clicking this small thing, and in search bar, I'm gonna just write dev. So I got this main dev stream. I got the it. Also click on this quick load and gonna look for young man birds, and it shoots. It goes the same way as well. So yeah, nothing much, nothing big, as you can see. It's really pretty easy to implement. So of course, by the time I'm recording this, the output audio won't be coming out, but it's playing for me. But you'll hear it later. So let's attach a script to the player. I'm gonna do it behind the scene, and voila. As you can see, it has this special function here that you never seen. Instead of extending a character type node 2D, what it's doing, it's calling its parent nodes, or it's calling like since it's a subclass, it's calling the main class, which is the character. Then I got these variables. It's almost the same principle as for most things. And we got that error there with kill manager. And I got this full script here. Nothing too big. So as you can see, kill manager is giving us an error. So let's go to project. In project settings, we're gonna just come here and rename the kill manager. I might have put the K in small capital, and here we're gonna come here and kill manager and select kill manager. Now the error is gone. Now I got this smooth script right down here. We're gonna change it and remove main menu once it dies, but this is temporary because right now I don't have a def logic or a game over logic, so I'm just gonna send the player back to main menu when it dies. So we need to create an arrow, since we are calling arrow, and we need to create an arrow scene and a combo scene. So for arrow, we're gonna click on that small cross, add another type of node. We're gonna add an area 2D. Let's rename the area 2D as arrow. Press Ctrl S to save. We're gonna save it in the player folder back 2D. Now we need a visual for this arrow, so we're gonna add a sprite 2D. Since my arrow doesn't have any animation, I'm gonna use a sprite 2D. Add another child node. We need a collision collision, which is going to act as a projectile. We're going to add also a timer. Timer might be used to give a lifespan to my my error, because if the error doesn't disappear after 2 seconds, just I don't know, you know just keep it that way. Better for you to add a lifespan to your error. So to do so, I'm going to click on region to add it in a proper way. Click on edit region. Then here inside the snap mode, we're going to auto slice and click on the first arrow, which has the edge. As you can see, the second one doesn't have head arrow. We're going to come to collision shape. And in collision shape, I'm going to pick a top shape, put it transform, and I'm going to rotate it maybe 90 degrees right. Now make sure that it's filled overlapping or arrow, and lock it and hide it. Attach a script to our arrow, and as you can see, I made it behind the scene. Nothing big. Detection, sending signals or things like that. So let's attach first signals on body entered. Click on connect. Now the green smoke screen icon shows that connected. So now that it's done, let's go back to player. I'm gonna back to 2D. I'm gonna come to Artbox and duplicate it. So what I need to do is just rename the second hotbox as combo area. The main idea behind this combo area thing is for me to create a special move when you kill, let's say, 10 goblins. Kill 10 goblins. Now the player will do a special move. I don't know, shooting arrow in all directions, or I don't know, dashing or something like that. So it depends on what I'm going to implement. Just goes by feeling. Now that it's done, I'm going to come to that area and save it as a branch scene, and I'm going to save it in player folder. I can delete it from the Archie script and open it directly from my folder. Now I got combo area thing. And I'm going to attach a script to it. Let's do this real quick. Yeah, I got them. So here it is. On body detected, the signals are connected directly from. Now I got this. I need to attach them, so click on Archie. So on the root node, make sure it's Archie root node. We're gonna click on quick loads, and we're gonna select arrow for that one and combo area for the second one. Done. Right. Now arrow, Archie, and all of this. Let's run the Archie as runs in the same. Now, as you can see, it's impossible for me to control the Archie there. So what we need to do is we need a scene where I can control the Archie. So click on that small cross. We're gonna add 2D scene, and let's rename that 2D scene as terrain. You can name it terrain, live, or whatever you want. We're gonna save it somewhere. So I'm gonna save it in my folder terrain and click it. And now let's add a child node to that. We need a canvas layer. So a canvas layer, we're gonna rename it as UI. The canvas layer is very useful because it sticks everything inside it, the screen. It's kind of like that thing that follows the screen everywhere. So we're gonna open our controller scene and add those two sub scenes inside the UI. So let's move them properly on the screen side. So top right corner and bottom right corner and bottom left corner. But of course, make sure that they're not really like touching the edge of the screen. Otherwise, they're gonna be cropped. Now that's done, let's go to terrain. So let's start with UI. Attach a script to UI. Click on create. So quick script, and to terrain as well. We're gonna add a script. Nothing too big, you know. Let's go back to main menu. We're gonna come and copy this label and paste it in my UI. So I'm gonna have to them, select store name, go to theme override in font size. I'm going to change the font size to 40 and I'm going to remove this outline constant. Now, if I'm back to the script, I'm going to unlock these two and let's resize them and set them where they should be. So one would be in the top right corner and the other one may be top left corner. So I'm going really simple in this game since I do not really have a big objective behind all of this. All I want to show you is how you can add joysticks and use your game on Android, on your mobile phone, or whatever you want. So you can try to copy one of my recent game, the one I made with I don't know, the system of construction, buildings, and goblin attacking, And this type of analog is not only used in RPG, you can also use it on the platformer. I'll show you maybe very soon. So we're gonna rename the first level as skill level, and the second one, I'm gonna rename it as stat level. Now, in the inspector, you change text in skill. Because won't be really kill, but it's gonna show you the amount of the number of goblin you killed. And yeah, right. Now open the terrain script, no, first UI script. I'm gonna script this up real quick. Let's check. We're gonna copy these names from the script and rename the joysticks accordingly. Now, as you can see from my script, I have this audio stream player. So I'm going to add it also to my scene. I'm going to rename it as audio stream player. So that audio stream player is just a background sound that I kind of find funny for my game. So it's the actual background sound of the sea colliding on rocks or whatever. It just makes it very smooth and easy. So reduce the volume to minus 10 dB since it's a little bit loud. Once that's made, I'm going to add the R shade to my game and back to terrain script as well. Make sure that I have to make sure that the player path is actually correct. So we gotta drag and drop the R shade right at the equal sign. Now, I'll run my game directly from here. I can literally move my player. As you can see, this is quite smooth. See, it's really nice to control for once the player using as you can see now I have the charge system. As you can even see my small charge bar is kind of like going from 0 to its maximum value. And in UI also I made the script which shows the stats that the kill manager was holding. You see, basic stuff basically. So now in my menu, no, back to our shape. I'm gonna go back to D. So I just need to change the shape of this. This actually might quite be, I don't know, how can I say it? Really bothering me the way that it's just blank and with no, no proper way that have been made. So you can just play around with it in theme override, or you can check in the folder in the textures if you can find something that you can use as a as a texture for your progress bar, charge bar, left bar, F bar, or whatever you want. So right now, I'm just gonna play with these values like these basic values. Basically, like I'm drawing, but I'm not really drawing. Bring these numbers, corner radius, change the shape of it, and so on. So what I can do right now, I'm just gonna speed this up, and we'll catch up once I'm done. All right. So this isn't the best suit that I've made so far. Let's run the game. Click on run the current scene, because if you run the general game, you won't really fit. So make sure that you're on terrain and click on run current scene. Now, if I move it around, I can do single shot. Then if I maintain it, I don't know, something is off about it. Okay, let's be very frank. This thing looks, how can I say it? Looks a little bit ugly, to be frank. I don't really like the Dynamite, so now it looks like it looks like how much, to be frank. Uh, you know what? I might change it later. I might change it later, maybe for my final game or something like that. But right now, I just want to keep it simple like this. You might also want to resize, like, to be frank, this looks like a big X or something like that. Like a helmet. Uh, not bad, not really that bad. Also, the zoom, it's a little bit big. So I'm gonna go with 1.8. Back to terrain and run. That's now. You can clearly see the charge part, man. Yeah, and not bad at all. Um, Now in my script, let's close this. Really nothing big here, and move down here. I'm just checking a few things. Uh, Simple character. So as you can see from my character that I'm not using it, but it's kind of like a base. It's kind of like a template. If you want to add more characters, you just duplicate the character scene, not its script, of course, the character scene. And once you have that character scene, you can use it as a template to add maybe a warrior or other things like that. Yeah. It's just basically a small little template. I'm gonna change this one later. So what I can advise you to do is in my texture, I think somewhere in one of these folders there is kind of like, I don't know if it's in the first ever take of a tiny sword by Pixel Frog, that where you can find those. Where is it? I'm looking for. There is a progress bar somewhere inside there. Let's press on the small cross. We're gonna add another type of node. We're gonna add an animated sprite 2D. Let's rename that animated sprite 2D as blood. So I'm gonna save it in effect folder, and let's go to sprites, frames, and add a sprite animation. We're gonna rename the animation as SP enable autoplay and change the speed to 10 FPS. And you gotta make sure that you disable the loop animation. Now you can see I have this folder that I actually copied from Braki. I downloaded from one of these recent tutorials. So I'm gonna use this smoke as blood. Not really it's not really common to do that, but I got like this small idea to do that. So I'm gonna change the modulation to something red. Now if I play let's increase maybe to 20 FPS. If I play it, it's kind of like looks like blood, uh, right? Kind of looks like blood, which is really nice, actually, right? So let's delete. I'll be playing around a little bit with this. Then once I'm satisfied with my work, I'm gonna stop there. So let's catch up until I find something way more. So after spending a few minutes of deciding where or what to use, I just picked a small animation thing. Not really conventional, but it's the best that I could find. Now, I need to attach a script to that large script. Then go to signals. What I need to do is every time the animation finished, so the signal animation finished, we need to delete the that node. So the blood animation will play. Once it's finished, we just Q3, which delete everything. Right. As you can see, I also made this attack animation, which I won't be really using, so it's kind of pointless to me. I don't know. It's useless, this attack animation. It's useful when you'll be using, I don't know, when you'll be using a knight or a lancer, but right now I won't really use it on I won't really use it on my R-shade and kind of like it. So I'm gonna add a func ready and change the Z index to 4 for the blood to actually spawn like this. Right. Back to 2D. I'm gonna click on this small cross, click on add a node. We're gonna add an animated sprite 2D. So let's go to the animated sprite 2D. We're gonna rename it as explosion. So I need to add few couples of effects like explosion and some kind of material or couple things like that. So let's save it and create a new folder. I'm gonna call it as material and save it inside that. So this explosion, it's an animated sprite 2D. What it does exactly is hold that explosion animation false. Then I need a way for it to to send those damages that it inflicts to the player. So to do that, I might need to add an array at 2D and that kind of things. First of all, let's start by adding the animation, which is the easier part. You just go find the effects, you find the explosion, and you just, you can write it manually here. So it's 1, 9. And now you have both all of them. Make sure that the loop is disabled in the animation since we need the animation to finish now. So to explosion, we're going to add an area 2D. Let's rename that area 2D as explode and add a child node to that explode, which is a collision shape 2D. So now this explosion effect, which has, I'm going to just loop it for the sake of knowing what the size of the explosion itself. You see something like this, right? Now disable the loop. So now this explode area is the one detecting the body that overlapping under here. Let's click again on that. What should I do here? I can just duplicate directly the explosion and rename it as, I don't know, fire. Open now that new folder. We're gonna rename fire as well. And the area renamed as fire. So now inside fire, what I might need to change, it's simple. Just select all of this and I need to change just the animation frames. So open the frame, auto slice, select all and add the frame. Now we got this for animation, but for fire, keep the animation looped, since the fire can just loop, but that need the animation to be playing all the time. Click on that small cross again, add another type of node. We're gonna add an animated sprite 2D. We're gonna add a skull and we're gonna save it inside that material folder. Click on this sprite frame, add a new sprite frame, and rename it SP. SP might be spawn points, spawn play, or simple play, whatever. Just like name it as SP instead of the post. So locate exactly in your folder where the no, not here. I guess basically here it is. So this pretty skull animation comes from the first pack of assets published by Pixel 4. I kind of keep it in all the project that I work with to kind of see the depth. Add another pack. I'm gonna add a node 2D. So let's rename this node 2D as TNT. We're gonna save it in the same folder, all the other animations, whatever. Okay. So TNT is a material used by the Goblin to inflict damage to the player. So we have the root node is the node 2D, add a child node to add animations by 2D name anim. And now we're gonna add an animation. We got first animation called SP and change this pattern to 7. So we gotta relocate just the TNT Dynamite. As you can see, I got my Dynamite. Don't know why I keep on calling it TNT, right? The Dynamite. That's in this unfold. Now I got my visual on it. Let's just go to TNT and duplicate the TNT, and we're gonna rename the new duplicate as fire underscore TNT. Click on OK. So I'll add two different types of goblins, which one is Goblin TNT, the other one is Goblin Torch. So the Goblin TNT called this Dynamite, and the Goblin Torch, which called the Torch of Fire, will be throwing the Fire TNT. I could call it Fire Bomb, Fire TNT, or just basically Fire, but since already have Fire TNT, it's kind of confusing. So I'm just gonna keep the basic one. So this Fire TNT, once it comes in contact with the player, it's just gonna spawn an explosion or something like that. Yeah. Nothing really big. As you can see, this is pretty useless. I'm not gonna lie to you. This attack animation pass. For explosion, let's attach a script. And same fire. So I'm just gonna attach a script. Then of course I'm gonna make most of these scripts behind the scene. Some of them are pretty easy. You just to connect a signal which says animation finish, you delete it. And some of them need those area signals like on body entered, on body exited, or something like that. You see, pretty easy to implement bit by bit, of course. So I added the script to Fire TNT. Now I need to add an audio stream player to correspond to my script. So and drag and drop this here. This part also is kind of like time consuming because you have to implement every single small detail. It's quite annoying. So Fire and Fire TNT can share the same audio stream player. I'm gonna go back to Fire, copy that audio stream player and pass it here, and we're gonna rename the path here. Make sure that the path to the nodes are corresponding, otherwise it's going to fill out error and you have to remake everything and try to correct every single thing. So I just prefer to make sure that the path is corresponding. And I have a tendency also to reuse most of my scripts in different projects, so I don't really have to, code everything afresh again every time. I can just go to one of my old projects, double click on the script file and open in my notepad. I just need to copy it directly to this script as you can act on it. So I'm just adjusting some parameters for the explosion sound, which might be too loud or might be too long. So you need to change the volume, the pitch scale, difference. I was really expecting the audio stream player to have a lot of parameters, but unfortunately, we only have a pitch scale and a volume set. So I really hope in the future Godot might have ability to actually, trim some parts of my audio. Because some of the audios are too long, some of them are too short. So if there was a opportunity to trim them or just, play them faster or something like that, would have been so much easier and so much better. Now that this all these sets of effects, materials, and whatsoever. Now I just need to implement the things also, so like player, I don't know, maybe audio or something like that. So we're gonna go to on text image. I need to spawn the blood. So to spawn the blood, I need to create a variable. I'm gonna call it blood scene is equal to a preload. Now we gotta type the path to that blood scene. So instead of calling that variable inside the block function, what I can do is I'm gonna just call it here top. I'm gonna preload it, not inside the function but outside the function. Let's create another variable. We're gonna go var blood instance, which is equal to blood scene dot instantiate. Now down here I'm gonna do get parents dot add child. I'm gonna add that blood instance, and now we need to give a global position to that. So I'm gonna do blood dot global position. Okay, the blood global position will be equal to the player global position. So blood dot global position is equal to global position. Simple as it may sound. There is nothing tricky here. So now I can play around with also the Z index. You know, just need the blood instance Z index to be a little bit higher. Also, what I can do is change this a little bit. So I can go in a basic rectangular shape instead of having this ugly thing. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of awful to look at. What I can advise you to do is it's like painting, I guess. I used to draw when I was younger. So in drawing, you can, it's made of trial and error. So you try, you fail, you erase it, and you start again until you learn how to do it. So sometimes theory resides in what's simple. Like here, I'm just gonna keep it simple. Just two rectangular shapes side to side parallel to each other. Instead of trying to make something too complex, end up making an normal look. Right? Or better. I think it's much better, but now if I run the game, as you can see, no matter how much I click on start, won't start because start doesn't have any code on it. So this is the best occasion that we get to actually implement that kind of code. So what you do is get 3 dot change in path or change into file. We're gonna change it to terrain scene. Now if I run my game originally, I can click on start, then send me directly to terrain. Now if I shoot, as you can see, the charge bar is kind of looking too small as well. Frankly, I spent a lot of time in designing more than coding, because design, you need to actually try and see what's actually better, or it's much, it's quite, yeah, it's quite bad. Not the best we can do, but hey, we do what we can. So let's close this up. So what I'm gonna do is I have this set of goblins from my previous project. I'm just gonna come and drag and drop them directly in this folder in my game. Now, as you can see, there are a couple of errors showing there. Like, we just need to change them. It's telling me it can find the script to this goblin. So, the scripts also were imported. So I don't know why it's that, but this is an easy way to actually use this reuse what you already made in a different project. Not might always be goblins or characters, but I prefer to import these goblins because they were more complex to remake. I could have done that for most of these effects and animations and so on. But I feel like for goblins, it was way much better to remake them directly from Escape. So of course, there will be couples of errors like, I don't know, seeing the path to most of the loads, the path to most of the scripts, just need to change those small little things accordingly. And once that's done, you can also check the signal correctly attached and that. But the main idea behind the script is the fact that this game kind of aligned with my tutorial that I made on Tiny Sword, the Goblin Slayer, which is these goblins that I made. Their primary function was to look for a target in a group of player and chase after him and kill him. So just gonna use that logic for this simple Android made game. Right? Just change some of the path. It's quite satisfying to reuse this because you just think about all the time you could have spent coding this, I don't know, 400 code of line and designing and redesigning, trying to adjust the, I don't know, the areas, the sound and all of that. But here you come, you just, just get everything from a previous thing that you already made. So what I'm gonna implement also to Goblin Torch and Goblin TNT is the blood thing. Since in my previous tutorial you didn't have the blood effect, I'm just gonna add them. Once you have already added the path to it, all you need to add is this small block that I just copied here, where the function is text image. So in text image, what you need to do is just add that block of line. Now every time that it will receive an arrow, it's gonna spawn the blood just like the did. All the player does. Nothing really tricky here. And I recently stumbled upon one of the comments asking me why I don't use C code. Just because I suck in C programming. Never really learned how to code in C. I do have the basics, but I did the basics for embedded C in microcontrollers. So basically, I know how to use C coding with microcontrollers, like basic things, of course, but I don't know how to implement it in Godot. And since most of the time I spend using Arduino and other microcontrollers, I never really had time to learn how to properly use C. Now I added these goblins to my script, as you can see. This one explodes and this one should be able to attack me, I guess. You see? Yeah, it's kind of attacking me. If you're wondering why they don't move, it's because they don't really have ground yet. I'll show you why they can't move yet. This one throws TNT, and if I shoot at him, he dies. But he shouldn't die directly like that. Goes at the back. And this one doesn't even detect the arrows at all. It's totally ignoring it. Yeah, it's literally passing through. And I'm hearing right now a wave sounds. Of course, you can. There is no actually sea or ground, but the wave sound still plays in background. I'm gonna come and move them. Let's check these errors. What it's saying. It's actually small conflicts between the six. Doesn't really matter. Okay, I can click on clear and close that up. So what I need to check right now is might be the collision or signal load. Something is actually fishing here. So you just need to adjust a few things, like for Goblin Dodge, which does not take or does not even take damages, doesn't even take damages from my arrows, which is weird, right? Now in collision shape here, I'm gonna come and zoom a bit here and resize it a little bit to fill the whole visual image. Now this is quite that's good. So still don't get why it's not detecting the target area is properly assigned. You can even adjust it to make it a little bit bigger. So right now I don't really see what's wrong. Now let's see with this one in Earth box. Maybe the Earth box is too small, but I don't think so, since the arrows are passing through him also directly. So I don't really think that the arrows are not being detected. Quite tricky. Now arrow looks for you know What? Maybe if I change something like something around here. Okay, let's remove this line of code. Not remove it, but I'm just going to select it as a comment. Now, let's add a couple of them and duplicate this. And I duplicate quite a lot for them, which isn't really what I need. But yeah, click start. Now. They've disappeared. So the small issue with this is the fact that if the goblin they don't find the targets in a short span of time, what they do is they actually explode on their own, which means they couldn't find the player, so they just exploded. Now, if I move down here, okay, that was not intended. The fact that one of the goblins reflects me, but both of them exploded, which isn't what I intended to do. Right. Now, the error isn't being detected. Now, even the Goblin TNT is completely ignoring the error now. Let's just come here and delete all of this. We don't need them anymore. Let's click on clear. And, we're going to just come and close most of these things. Yeah. Now let's close attack as well. Now that I'm back to 2D, close the Goblin, close all of this. Then there. Yeah, let's just keep it clean like this. So now let's go to main menu. I'm gonna come to main menu, press Ctrl D to duplicate, and I'm gonna rename that as select. It should be player select. Player select. Double click on player select. So in my player select, what I want to set up is it's a way for my user when they start a game to enter a nickname, choose which color of character you want, or something like that. Maybe also the ability to choose on which terrain you want to play a survival game. Nothing, nothing too complicated. So you need to delete some of these things, disconnect the scripts. Quite a lot of work also. So before you disconnect the signal, make sure that the script isn't attached anymore. Otherwise, it's going to disconnect the script, the signal also from my main menu. Right. This is where things get a little bit tricky. So we're going to use something called an option button. It's not really tricky, but this option buttons might be quite confusing since you're going to use a script line called match. So according to match, you're going to pick a certain item in this option button that you're going to reuse and save it as a variable. Let's say in my option button, this one is a color picker. I'm going to rename it as color picker. So if someone click on this option button, a list of color will appear. You can add this color directly from here in items. So we can add set of color that we have. So for my game here, we have a black, blue, purple, red, and yellow. So I'm going to add those items directly on the inspector. Every time someone click on option button and select one of these color, it's going to save it in the files and also save it to a certain variable in global scripts. It might be start or kill manager directly. Now, every time my player will start the game, my player will be checking which color was saved and accordingly going to change what animation color to play for each of my, as you can see, black, blue, purple. So now one of the black, right. So I'm not really putting much effort in the design of these things. They're just semi-transparent rectangular shape boxes. So if Okay, you can change them. Some of them you can make them square. You can change their texture. You can play around with many things here, many options. Pixel Progress provided us with a complete palette of background images, UI, banner, and whatever. So me, I'm not just beating myself too much into all of this, but what is on. So we're in choose player. So from choose player, you can add button like I don't know, start the game, go back to the main menu, or save the presets. So much to do here. Uh, I'm gonna attach a script. So now let's delete this setting. So what we need to do first is it creates reference to this. So drag and drop before you left control. Now we have references, the variable references. Now what we need to do is attach the script individually for start button, press button, and so on. So you already know how to change scene. What you do is get 3 dot change scene to file, then you can change scene to terrain, whatever you want. You can even create a setting menu. You can create quite a lot of things, like a difficulty menu where someone can choose difficulty, and I put in that to show how many modes of code is found per time, or the difficulty of the game, how long you could run it, you know, that kind of thing. So now from a main menu script, since when I click on start, instead of going to start, I'm gonna go to choose menu. Now, if I click on start, it sends me to choose menu. I can choose the color, then each way or smoother this way. Right. Now, this is way more complex. It's a little bit advanced if you're just starting Godot. So here now, we're gonna implement a way to save files. So to save files in Godot, we usually use kind of function like JSON file. You save a file permanently. Of course, it can be changed. The value of that file can be changed, or you can save files and call them later, like using save and loads. I don't know. You can set type of integers depending on what you're saving. So in my case, it's mostly integer and string value, string for the color, and nothing too much complicated, I guess. Um, right. So there is this other node in Godot. It's called edit. It's called line edit, which actually, on contrary of my label, the edit line, what it does is gets the input from the keyboard, might be string, integers, or whatever, and save it directly into a variable content. So I created another um, Autoload that I call stat. You'll see later. It's basic stuff that I don't really need to play around it much. Like it quite time consuming. So now I got two buttons. I got this button save and this other button start. Uh, using. I guess, yeah. And just by moving around these things, whatever you want, you can just like, set it up as much as you want. Now you see the player edit line here it is. So the edit line is like, it's just like an input region where you click on it and you type a text or anything. So I'm just gonna come here and copy this label and paste it under here. So I'm gonna let this pick your layer color. and go to theme override. And in font size, we're going to change it to something small like 40. Gonna unlock it and put that up here. Pick your color, maybe inside here like that. No, I don't think it's set actually wise. Put it to 70 maybe. At up like this. And try to center it as well. So keep it centered, just like for the others. Basic things I guess for anyone who has used Godot. Now in the script, this script I actually copied it from somewhere. So in the script, you gotta make sure like some of these functions are quite connected perfectly. So click start and save, load, and all of these functions. Right. On tweet here, we don't see the tweet function instead of this button back, and the back button is sending me back. Just come here and copy this line. So the back button doesn't really quit the game, but it sends you back to the main menu. So now I got these two buttons. I'm gonna move them a little bit down. I need now another button, a start button. That's why I feel like some of the time I'm wasting my time on my own because I made already a start button, then I deleted it later. Now I have to remake it again. Right. So now rename also the button starts right there, which is pretty actually good. Right. Now move the save button up and change its size to match a little bit others as well. Aesthetic. It's not really beautiful, just a rectangular shape with a name inside. It's nothing really big to do about it, but I kind of like it just like that. Spending a lot of time. I could have actually speed up all of this and just show you the results, but I kind of want to show you this type of new node that I've been using, like edit line or option button, things like that. Once the start signal is attached, so the start button when it's pressed, it sends you to the terrain. Now inside the start, as you can see, I have these variables and I have this constant to save and loads and save data. As I told you, we use file exit and JSON function and whatsoever to dev stuff. Now inside my player selects, I don't need this enum anymore. So what I'm gonna do is call the color directly from my stats. So let's remove that line as well. And when it comes to actually calling the color, what I'm gonna do is start dot player color. Do the same here. Start dot player color. Quite noisy. So right now back to Arche. Arche, we're gonna change also the same thing because what we were changing was in character. Now in Arche we're gonna use the same function start dot player color. Let's clean this up just to make sure that the error doesn't come from whatever we've been doing. Now if I click on start, as you can see now I cut like duplicates of this color, which isn't really what intended. So this error is coming by the fact that okay, let me show you. By the fact that I have added these in scripts as well as in the inspector. So if you add them in the inspector, you do not need to add them in the scripts. So for me already I've added them in the script. So I don't really need to add them again in my inspector. back in here. So I'm gonna add the placeholder text in the middle, and the placeholder text will be like enter your nickname, enter a nickname, enter whatever you want, or enter your name. And we can also change the theme override. So we can change the font size. For me, I'm going to change also the font size. So I'm going to keep my font size to something like that. Now, if I run the game, click on start, pick a color. So these colors are not really what I intended. So in my script, I might have made a mistake. So the color start by black, blue, purple, red, then yellow. So let's copy this line, and below here we're gonna add as red. Right. Then I realized here also the error right there. So here it's blue, black, blue, purple. Same move again. You just come here, copy this line. Now get this double lines. It's because I use shifts to copy, which is, right. So make sure their ID number also kind of like follow the logic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and yellow. Right, just to check that names are actually matching. So blue, blue, and like yellow, as you can see everywhere in the script where yellow appears and also appears. So let's come and copy all of this match thing. Then we're gonna come here and set it up here as well. Right? Now run the game. If I click on start, click on black, and let's change the player name. I'm gonna rename it Kims. If I click on save, which I don't know why it's going back to red every time. But anyways, let's just click on start. Now, as you can see, it's actually playing the right color. So what I need to do is find why the code isn't saving what's intended to be saved correctly. Right? So just few things needed to be changed here a little bit. So much to do and so much to change. Also, is the fact that my Godot some of the time like it's kind of lagging, so much lag in terms of speed. I don't know, maybe my GPU or my CPU are not coping with the new version of Godot. So I'm just gonna go back to my main menu, and it's quite messy though. I'm gonna remove that thing because it's not really good looking. I don't know. Run the game again. So no matter how many times I try to save it, it will always go back to red. I don't know what I did wrong with my script, but yeah, things don't really work. So color picker. Okay. Till now everything seems to be okay. Right. So let's remove this. So I've corrected the mistake. No need to worry about it. So now you see it does not change to red. Now if I click on start, I'm using the count break. If I restart again, as you can see, I can come here and pick purple, click save. And now if I start, my player is purple. It's quite satisfying to see that things are actually working out as intended. Back to 2D, we'll go back to terrain in script. I need also to show stats. So what I'm gonna do is stat label dot text is equal to stats dot plus index plus start player color. So you show the name and which color the player has chosen. Now as you can see, games, then my color is purple. What you can also do is actually games and create a new line. Like, I think it's dot line or slash back line or something like that. Oh, so let's start up again now that we've made terrain. So we need to add a child node to the terrain. I'm gonna add a okay, so I just need to add a node to the type. Then that node to the we're gonna rename it as styles. Then inside the style, I need to add I'm gonna add something here in the screen. So what I need to add is actually simple. I need to add a tilemap layer and design the tilemap layer, but I won't really be making everything from scratch like one by one. So what you need is a tilemap layer, as you can see here, tilemap layer. So I'm gonna make it quickly and the scene and I'll show you. So as you can see, this tilemap layer. If you don't know how to make it, just check among my previous video, maybe from 2024, 2025. You'll find a video where I explain how to create this tilemap layer and how to set them up. So as you can see, here they are. So something that I need to add to my top layer for that my goblins start moving around them, I need to add a navigation layer. So I already added a navigation layer here. So now I need to paint it to my my tile map. So it's already made it for most of these layers, as you can see, for each type and each shade of the tile map layer, it's already made. Now, when it comes to foam, as you can see, it's the tile map layer with an animation. I think I covered this in my first tutorial ever using this type of assets. So you just go check it, or I will just leave the link, or I'll give you a reference directly in the comments if you ask for it. It's basically, it was introduced in Godot, I think 4.1, the ability to create animation directly in Tilemap layer. That animation is kind of good. Also, when it comes to the collision shape, add the collision to these rocks. You can add a customized collision by moving points inside the thing. Same goes for the tree. So the trees that I made in this tutorial are not like from my previous game that I made. So basically, this tree animation, they're just tree. You can cut them down. They don't spawn wood or they don't have those special functions. They're just basically there for decoration only. They also have a collision shape and an animation. And the collision shape is only to the trunk, so that might they only connect with the trunk, not the leaves. And as you can see, this is perfect. And we got this node, a special node that I use is a collider. So the collider that I use is to actually create the collision around things that I don't want to play at, but the limits are for the ground zone. So just use a random paper that I found in the UI. As you can see, it limits. It gives a standard that limits to for when my player and can or cannot roll. Now my arche is I'm gonna delete it. Add let's add a child node. I'm gonna add the node 2D, I guess. I don't know why I keep on writing player instead of writing node. So node 2D, rename the node 2D as player. I think it's muscle memory. Might use muscle memory, so my brain is processing things faster and instead of just skipping some steps. So let's close this texture thing. We're gonna go to the player scene folder. Then you can come and drag and drop it here. So first make sure that there is shell node of that's player nodes to the. Now in script you need to change this path, otherwise it's gonna take an error. So just come and drag it here. It's after change. Now if I run the game, I'm gonna run the current scene. I get an error. What did it say? Script inheritance of the object of type come up there to it's in terrain. I think I kind of see where the error is coming from. So, what am I doing? So, basically, the error is coming somewhere in collision chip. So, you see this collider script. The collider script needed the script. So, just quickly, I might have made a mistake and attached a wrong script to it. So, remove that one and add a new one. So, basically, collider script just needs simple function. So, func ready or func process. So, if you use func process, which means every time it will be checking and setting it even. So as you can see in the inspector, you can see it, but every time the game will start, it's going to toggle the visibility and set it off. Now, if I will start the game again, now you can see the collider is hidden. You can see it. Even if I try to pass through here, the collider is blocked. Right. This seems, it seems, yeah, it's beautiful now. I think it's, yeah. See, even the way that the arrow fade away after you showed it, it's quite good, I guess. I love it. It's perfect. Even the triple arrow, perfect. Right? I think I like it. It's got what I intended. So now here, inside the UI, I need to add something. So let's go and add a child node. We're gonna add a button. Let's go ahead and resize this button, something like this. And I'm gonna load this first. Let me load all of them. It's quite disturbing when we're pressing on them. So I already logged them for my keyboard control L. Now, when it comes to this button, so what I want to do is create a set of buttons to actually maybe pause the game, quit the game, reload the game, start the game, just the basic things, I guess. So this one should go in the top right corner, which means I need to move this text. So what I'm going to do with text is just set a preset in the middle there. Now I'm back to my button. Just need to move it somewhere that I would love. Um, it's quite taking it's consuming a lot of time just to to design all of this, especially if to go bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. Might take a lot of time. So let me just skip ahead and move it a little bit further, then I'll show you what exactly I intend to do with Spatter. see, I made this three buttons. So let's go to UI, add another child node. So I'm gonna add a panel, and let's rename the panel as pose. Make sure that the panel is full rect, so it's covering the all full screen, just like that. So again, I'm just gonna skip ahead. So basically, what I wanna create, I'm gonna create three type of panels. First one is for pose, which is initially hidden, so the visibility will be off. So the pose panel, when you click on that small icon looking like a setting, which is the pose button, if you click on it, this pose menu will become visible. Then I'll create another panel, which is game over panel. And I'll add another panel. When you press that red cross to quit, it's going to ask you if you are really sure that you want to quit it. So I'm going to skip ahead and design that. Then we'll catch up later. Now that I'm done designing my game over and my post panel, I can press on I. So basically, both of them are actually hidden within up, right? I mean, this is the logical way of setting it. Now I need a way to actually trigger both of them. When you press on the pause button, you show the pause panel. So to do so, we need to attach the signals. So there is two ways I can attach the signals by creating a new script, or I can just attach them directly to the root node script, the parent script. So when I click on press, I can click on connect. Now on mute press. So on mute press, the cfx dot volume dB be equal to minus 80 or minus 60. So or I can set it, because if you set it to 0 in using this node won't really set the volume to mute, but something minus 80 will. So now on pause press, click on and sample quits on quit press. So both signals are, all the signals are attached, right? So I'm just gonna leave some cues here, like I need to leave details here. So if you download this project file and you want to edit it, you're gonna have like kind of know what exactly to modify and where to change what you need to change. So again, back to 2D. Now let's duplicate that pose by pressing Ctrl D. We're gonna rename it that pose as quit. So the quit panel, same old design as I did for pause and quit button. So basically, you just need the text and two buttons to perform function that you need. Here is when you press the quit button, the game should ask you, are you sure you want to quit? Not directly quit the game. So if there will be two options about it, to confirm and to cancel. So are you sure you want to quit? Let's change preset the font size and theme override. We're going to change the font size to 100. Which font is good? And move it to the fit hub. And also, I think I should add fiction mark. Kind of give that feedback. Now, when it comes to these buttons, I'll move them up as well. This one, I'm gonna change it to confirm. I don't really have a check mark. I don't really have a check mark texture. Otherwise, I could have added check mark, to make more sense. Yeah, I just have the playback. So now we get confirm and cancel. Let's say that's no. I can change to something. I don't know. I told you that I don't have a check mark. I don't really even have anything that. Yeah, maybe this one. Confirm. Then that arrow. It's not the top thing that I can find on market, but quite actually what needed. Then change also then is a proposed level. Doesn't really matter change it or not, but you just I think I'm obsessed with such kind of details as well. So these three, you should have a node reference to them. So while selecting two of them, drag and drop them on the script and pull it, press Control. Now that you have references to them on pause pressed, what you're gonna do is when I press pause, what I need to do is now come here and write get 3 dots post get 3 dot post. I think I forgot the function. How do you pause the game again? I think how do you trigger the pause? All right, we'll come back to later. So when I press first, I get the 3 and pause will go through. And pause dot show, which means pause reference to the panel that I show. Then here is, I knew it. It should trigger Boolean. So pause get three dot pause equal to true. Then when it's set to false, which means the game get 3 dot pause is equal to true. And down here, what we do is quits. The quits panel is going to show as well. Right? Fine. So that's it actually. Now for game over, I can actually call it here yet. I might call it later. So let's. Oh yeah, this one is the one that I should call. Right. Now mute. Let's look where mute is connected. So yeah, let me leave you another script comment here. So this one follows the volume. You might want to change few things like edit icons if you have different set of icons, but I do not, so I'm just gonna stick with what I have right now. I'll change it later. Because what I need to do with volume is not only to set it to 0. So I need that function of when I press it, it goes mute, and when I press again on the same button, the volume come back. So it's using the toggle where a boolean, if it was true, it becomes false. If it was false, it becomes true. Now attach a script to the pause panel. Once the script is attached to the pause panel, we need to get references of these two. No, you don't need references. So I'm just going to attach a script directly. If I click on, make sure that the signal is being attached to the pause panel, because if you don't and click directly connect, you're going to connect your script to the terrain script. So we're going to attach your signal to the terrain script. We need the signal to be connected to the pause panel. So what we do, when on resume pressed, when the pause panel is already showing, then when I press on pause on resume, so what we're going to do is get p pause is equal to false. And for quits, I think it's the same process also for quits. So for quits, make sure before you connect, we are attaching the signal to pause script. So when you pause the game, your pause panel is showing, then you click quits button. So what it does is send you back to the main menu. I think I thought of is you can add so much more to this, because I don't think like the only issue with this is if you put too much function running at the same time, it's just going to create spike on your CPU. What it does a lot to my laptop. But I think, oh yeah, let's change first these two names first. So I think for this game, if you keep just the spawning of the goblins in check, like don't do too much, I don't think the game will be lagging. So you can add many functions. So this game I just created a survival mode where you just enter and they start attacking you. Create an adventure mode. You can add a storyline to the game. So all you need to do is just purchase the projects. Then you can go all free and create your game, experiment on it for school projects of whatever you want. Thinking maybe in my future project I might start 3D now, 3D tutorials. But I haven't really mastered 3D, so I'm just still learning quite the basics of 3D coding, and especially what I'm struggling with is the animation, how to animate the 3D body. It's quite complicated for me, but I think with time I'll just master how to do all that. So same as I did in my pause panel, I attach it to my quit panel, and I gotta attach those two button signals and what they're supposed to do. Like they're supposed to perform a function. So for when I click on quit, if I confirm, I really quit. If I click cancel, the game just resumed. Now game over as well. Game over. You also attach the script as we did for the two others. So retry. I think when you press on retry, the game should restart the current scene or reload the current scene or whatever function Godot calls. I think it's reload the current scene. Yeah, I guess that's it. And when you press on quit, just quit the game. Like people losing, they know you're pissed, just quit and that's it. Just quit the game. Um, I think I might have already mentioned them. Yeah. I love how creating this, how connecting the signals might be interesting because if you make one mistake, everything's gonna fall apart. Some of the time you just get mad at everything, then you just quit again. And talk about getting mad at creating a game. I was trying to create a game using this type of asset, for mobile, of course, using the same type of asset type. So I was trying to create a game that actually used the logic of mini militia, uh, where I'll show you later. I'll explain to you later. So now you can see I can pause my game. If I click resume, click on resume button, it doesn't resume. If I click on quit, it doesn't quit. Don't know what exactly is. Really, but I'll fix it. So saying I was trying to create a multiplayer offline game using LAN when someone connects to a Wi-Fi and other two hotspots so we can play the game. But unfortunately for me, it wasn't really working. So I'm still working on it. Once I achieve that, I'll make a full tutorial. So for the buttons, my first priority is to select both buttons and down here in process and make sure that in process mode, they are set on always. I just learned it from my first tutorial when I was learning how to use buttons in Godot. So I always make sure that my modes in process are always always redundant, right? So for that mini militia style using this RPG type of asset I was talking about this, I couldn't really find a way to connect to servers. So the server could connect, but synchronism and some few details like that. It's really advanced mode of game, which was quite difficult even for me. I tried for months and months, but still now I haven't quite found a solution how to connect. Once I'll find out. I'll be very pleased to show you how to create a multiplayer LAN game. Because if you do that, it should be very easy for you, whether you're doing in 3D, top view, RPG, arcade style. Once you know how to create a game on LAN, it should be so interesting for you. You can play like home, create a game, share with your friend at school or in college or whatever you want to. Right now, I'm just doing the UI audits, try to center them and keep them far away from the borders. Same goes with this joystick. I remember when I told you joystick, you can change their size by opening the joystick scene itself. You can change the size of the knob and the base to make it bigger. I might change it later. You can also modulate the color, change the color and make them different from one another. Right. Now, I click pause. If I click resume, there is an error because the resume button send me back to the resume button send me back. Here also these buttons are not working. So it might be the same issue that I faced last time. So here also I'm gonna select all of them using shift and set the process mode from inherit to always. Always make sure of that. This button also the process mode. I don't think process mode is on always. Or change it from inherit to always. Now I'm just gonna go through every scene and try to change the process. Because kind of like when you go from one scene and come back to that scene, the button isn't responding anymore. I don't even know what was the purpose of creating such logic where a button works once but not twice. Because the logic here should have been dead. Well, Right. And then here, confirm, start, change even the color. Okay, now, even these ones are not responding. I'm unable to open the option bar. To be frank, I don't know what exactly is happening here. Right. So we're back. Run the game. Now, I can actually start, click save and start again. Now, if I move around, click on confirm, start the game. As you can see, the game is frozen. I can't even move the joystick. Everything is frozen. So this is actually the error is coming from this script. So what I forgot to add is unpause the button every time that's the game started. So when I'm pressing cancel or restart, the game's still in mode like pause. Now let's see. As you can see, if I click on you wanna click confirm, go back to that menu and load the game again. Now let's see everything works perfect. And the quit button seems not to work. Oh, they're not they're not for just they're inverted. So let's look for my post bar post scripts. For my post scripts, I gotta find this and invert them. So these two blocks of line comes here, and I'm gonna remove the other one and copy this line, and I need that line here. Make sure that every time these three panels scripts are used, that in every button when they press when they get a press get post false. Because if you go to true, the game will be staying in that state of being false. Now I'll select my player as is. Okay, complete. Okay, please click again on start the game, and mute and unmute. Quite quite often. Right. Now Auto-terrain scripts, as you can see, I implemented the volume logic. As you can see now, actually toggle when this folder through, it toggles mute and unmute. So my normal volume state is -10, that is 10. And when it comes to -80, it's way too low. So it's kind of like a muted. So just leaving some details for those who are going further is very fast. Now that's actually done. So let's go ahead and we can create something. So let's go first to terrain. I'm going to add a child node. I'm going to add a node 2D. I'm going to come to that node 2D and rename it as enemy spawner. Add a child node. We're going to add an area 2D. So the main idea behind what I'm creating right now is I'm going to create an area 2D that is in a zone or whatever you want to call it. So that's when that area detects that the players enter its area, it starts spawning goblins to attack that player. When you exit that area, it stops spawning, which is quite like that's quite what should be. I mean, I don't really have a game plan for this game. All I wanted to do is how to create sports, the game using joysticks and how to call it. Right. So here, I'll keep it simple, and I won't really crack my head on this. No ID instructions, no training or tutorial. I'm trying to keep it easy to reproduce, and we'll just reproduce some here. Next. So now move that area in a region where you want that detected. So in my case, this top it is bottom right here, which looks like kind of like a forest. So every time the player will enter this area, my enemy spawner logic that spawn enemy. To spawn those enemies, I might actually need spawn point. Because if I start spawning all the enemies on one point, so what I need to add is map 2D. Let's relocate the marker 2G. marker to is kind of like always spawning at origin point. Now remove that marker to be, let's say somewhere around here. I'm gonna duplicate it and move it down here. So I'm gonna create a couple of them, maybe 10, 5, or whatever you want. But just make sure that those marker points are actually near the detection zone. Because if you put it so far, which means it's going to spawn a goblin on invalid location, and make sure that you don't put the spawning points under a tree or behind a collision shape like collider or on the sea. Because no, that's gonna be messy. Let attach a script to the enemy spawner. I'm gonna just quickly code this behind the thing. Here it is. So the logic all behind this is my enemy zone area when it's there on the group. When it detects a body to look at there, such spawn goblins. You can play around with this variable, like the amount of goblins, the amount of time it takes on level and those things. So also make sure that the signals are attached. And then start to what's time to let attached. So make sure that the signals are attached to this enemy spawn. On the body exhibit as well, make sure that double click on enemy spawner. Quite awesome and quite useful, you know. Now make sure that we have created this pair group. Not for pair group, but let's copy it and make sure that the name actually match. Right? And arrow is detecting things from the group enemy. No wonder why when I was trying to shoot on those goblins, wasn't really working. Because goblins don't belong yet the group enemy. So what you need to do is open each goblin one by one and assign them. Just get it. So that goblin is grouped as well. Make sure that their root node parts are in the group that's specific. Because if you don't do that, get error. Parts. So Spatter is an error already. That's where errors come. Which is coming from terrain, but I think it's coming from enemy's power. Click on the root node, as you can see. I need to assign the marker that I'm supposed to assign. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to assign. I did the marker. Maybe the marker is quite not the marker. Well, oh, it's the goblins that I'm supposed to assign. That's why the error is coming because I'm trying to instantiate something that I haven't really assigned to them. So I've created up some goblins to make sure that I've added instantiate. You can even go with Godot, like because you know I use these goblins only the red ones, so you can change their color, kind of make like they have different types of different stats like speed, attacking level, intelligence also, and how they move around. You know, make it more interesting. Now, when you see my image lagging like this, it depends actually CPU kind of what I know spikes right now. So my game is kind of lagging. Uh, and shoot at them as you see the blood is coming out, but you can even reduce the size of the blood because like right now it's showing like it's way too big. It's way too big than it should. I love it. I really love it. Also, one thing that I realized, even though I exist, I'm already far away from the region. I mean, the area, the zone, but the golden dust is spawning over and over and over. And then also, when my player dies, instead of showing the game over screen, what it's doing is Yes. I don't know why is it yellow. Oh, it's because I'm calling an animation. I think I'm calling the animation guy, but I don't really have an oh god. I need to do just change to idle. There is no animation guy. And I guess we predict. Oh, there's one that. Oh yeah, in his premium pack, that's where there is like an enemy pack. What I'm just gonna download it. I'm gonna pay for it, download it, and create a full game of it. With building Goblin only is right. So I wish I'd like variety and view variety of enemies. I think create a full game out of it. Let's say like that's 3 months creating that game. 3 months maybe create a full game out of both platforms. I mean, Windows, maybe Mac, Linux, and even on Android. But iOS, I'm not sure how to put it and how to send it to devices. So a few things to adjust here. It's just quite adjusting a few things to avoid errors, like in terms of animations and stats and so on. Right? Now, these lines I'm modifying right now is uh, actually trigger the game over panel. So when the life of the player is at less than 0, instead of going back to the main menu, we're going to check something and we're going to tell our terrain scripts that, oh wait, the player is dead. Now it's going to pause the game and show that game over menu. So, like this. Now, now that the things is quite organized, is funny. And what we do is process delta. In process delta, I'm going to check the thing. I'm just leaving a little to view. So function is start of there is that is that it's equal to true. What we do is game over the game of panel dot show. So this error is coming yeah, it's coming because like I put like those quotation marks when checking a function which I shouldn't. I hate when that does this. Right, let's just close this. Is I don't know what's a press that on my mouth. Now I mean game over. So in game over I don't think I really need to change them over. Let's change the couple of lines here. Don't know, is it? I guess it is. Not really. Well, all I need to do now is start the game and set change to check the dev system. It's sure you know. I'll do it all costs. I wish I could add more visual effects, like I don't know, like camera shake or sprinkles red, white, it's dying. So things to implement. You could just play around with funnel, shading, and clean methods, but clean method only knows with by scripts. How to create it from them that script. So yeah, I'll be doing anything that I like that. Trouble myself with just a basic tutorial. It's not really a beginner tutorial, but just the follow through how to create a yeah, if the spawning is uncontrolled, it's going to spike a lot on your CPU like mine right now. Now instead, see, can move this, you can retry, not hide. Yeah, that's what things to change. So it kind of say like it's quite like how can I say? It's bad for you to test everything that you're making in the game. surprised the outcomes from your orientation, like probably that there's still some errors like right now. I don't even know why that the panel still shows even after that. What exactly? Oh, basically is so that when actually press retry, the player node, the player dead variable in start still it's true. So now I can pick color, click on save, and go start. Now I can move around actually pretty easily and pretty. I like how it's maneuvered, but there is a lag actually. The lag is happening why is because my CPU is running these instances of goblins at the same time. And I bet you've seen how large is the Goblin logic. So every time that the navigation agent is trying to locate and find the best path towards its target, it's kind of like, draining on the CPU. As you can see, it's properly working. Now I can shoot and whatever. So now back to 2D. Let's close this. I'm going to come to terrain. And on this terrain, I'm going to press Control D and duplicate that one. I'm going to rename the second terrain as terrain 2. I can double click and open terrain 2. So all I need is just change the side and, play around with this and, use these different types of variation and create more and more and more scenes, you see. So now back to my main menu. I just need to change a few things like I just need to push this up a little bit because I feel like the quit button was a little bit down there. It might be cropped due to its proximity to the bottom border. Right. So now I will select this as well and push it up. So let's rename this back button as leave, only in the inspector, of course. And this placeholder, the placeholder also is kind of like weird to put enter in a nickname. I prefer to something like enter your nickname. Yeah, that's quite bad. Also, I can resize this option button, the color picker button, a little bit bigger like that. Right? No, nothing crazy to go about. So let's go to project now. I'm gonna click on export. As you can see, when you want to export, so you're gonna face a tab like this. This tab is gonna open. This is the export tab. So for you to actually export, you're gonna choose a preset. Then inside the preset, for you to export, you gotta click here. So you can see this different type of presets. We have Android, Linux, and other presets like that. So for us, we're gonna focus on Android. Clicking on Android, in my case, I already downloaded it previously, but in most of the cases for you, you need first to download it. And once it's downloaded, you're gonna get these errors here showing because you're gonna set this up. So you see, it's telling that the target platform is required. Let's go to Chrome. Inside your search bar, you're gonna type JDK 24, and we're gonna click on Java download. So it's gonna redirect you directly to the Java. So now we need to download this JDK to actually compile all the scripts and all the scenes to create an Android application. So as you can see, you have to choose the X24 or X25, I guess. So actually I mispressed. I wasn't planning to press on that one, so let's cancel this download. The one we're looking for is not Linux, but we are looking for Windows because all of these systems are for Linux. So as you can see, climb here and click on Window. So there is compress and archive, but we're going to look for installer. X64 installer, then click on that one. Now wait until it's download finished. Now that it's finished, I'm going to click on it and wait for the installation to begin. Am I quite it might take quite sometimes just to load this up. All right. Once the installation started, so I'm gonna come, click on next, and click on browse here. So what you're gonna do, this is very crucial. You're gonna come and copy this path, keep it with you. Don't copy anything else. You just copy that path. It's really important to have it. And now click on install. So now that the installation has started, you have to wait until the installation finished, and I'll show you how to set it up in Godot. Might take time just to finish the installation. Now installation is finished. So now come and click here. It's going to redirect you to the home page for the manual and language and how to use the thing. But the GK25 documentation, I don't really need to read those documentation. So for me, I'm just going to come back here, click here. So back to Godot, we're going to come to project in export. Now you can see that the Android is runnable. Now down here, they're saying a valid GDK path should be added in editor setting. So we go to editor setting. Now we gotta set the JDK path. So what you do is you can run JDK, you can write Java, JDK, whatever, if you know, it doesn't show up. Now the path that you copied earlier, we're gonna pass it here. You can even click on that small icon to see if you're in the right path. As you can see on the right path, so select the current folder and you can close it. Now back to projects in export. Now I can clearly export. You see when the warning is coming in yellow, it doesn't really necessarily mean that that error is going to impact the game. So I'm going to just leave it like that and leave everything as it should. Now that's nothing to click on export project, and I need to set a location where to save it. So I'm going to save it in the main folder where I saved my Godot project. Click on export. Now we just need to wait for the export finish, and you'll see our file. I mean, the kind of like the export gets stuck at 1%, then after that you just goes all the way to 100. Now it's done. I can click on close. Also behind the scene, I have created different type of game scenes, different type of terrain, whatever you want to call them. So for them, I have just created different zones. I have duplicated multiple zones. As you can see, you have big zones, small zone. Let me zoom out. I'll show you. As you can see now, I have many enemy spawner here and there and there and there. So I quad mathed all of them. So I made 4 different scenes, which makes it in total 5, counting my first terrain scene. I went on the same principle as you can see here. So I just changed up, like you see, it's just kind of varying the environment game there. This is quite good actually. Let's control save it. And this one, the first one, number 1 of all of them. So actually what I want to create is the option button from which I can select on what terrain I want to go. So to do so, I'm just going to add another button here, similar to this one, just Control D, duplicate and move it on the side here. So from this, I can come later on and select what game scene I want to go to. I mean, you might think that this looks like a system of level, but I don't want to create a system of level since this game this game is only one type of game mode, which is survival, which means when a player start a game, it just move around, straight to explore, and all of a sudden is attacked by goblins, since that's the gameplay of this game, right? So now you can see from my script that I've made, I made quite a change to my player select script. I add this variable which contain different path, with different game scenes. So you just come here. The first one is this terrain. Just come and drop here. And for the other ones, just gonna come and drag and drop one by one until like you achieve each one of them. So as I was saying earlier in this tutorial, I was saying I tried to build a game in LAN mode. So the main idea that I wanted is to create basically using same type of asset right now, just I mean as a template, how to connect to phones as we used to do in Doodle Army Mini Militia. But I've tried many ways, but I couldn't achieve that. I tried so many ways, but I couldn't. It's weird that one of the server was showing, but once connected, the player wasn't in sync with the comment that he was receiving. It was just quite. It pissed me off. So I kind of like put the whole project on hold. So I just hope I can find a solution to it. Then I'll be very glad to show you how to create a local area network game on Godot. Right? Um, So if I found a way, actually, I won't really make it using this type of assets. These ones are really complicated. I might just start with a top-down, kind of top-down shooter or something like that. Right. So right now we have that system to select on what level we are going as here. Then something I never really told you guys is the fact that I don't really have that delay between changing scenes, which may result in a lag a little bit. So if you have like, I don't know, a fade scene or something to fade when the game first starts. Uh, so uh, right now everything is working properly. I guess it is. So there is an error showing here. It's a invalid access to property process frame on version of an object of now instance. So I don't know why exactly it's coming. So the only way to find it out is let me try it again. Exactly. So the error is coming when I'm trying to quit. So how to fix that? The enemy spawner is trying to spawn something when you already quit. So the error is coming from this small block. When they say functory exist, I added this small function which was missing, which means every time now that I try to quit the game, even if the spawner still detects my player, I can actually quit without any error. Yeah, I can quit. So let me select maybe run 5 and run the game. And as you can see, like most of this, they are kind of empty. You can add buildings as decoration if you want. You can add, I don't know, more vegetables, more tree, or whatever you want. But for me, right now, I'm just going to keep it simple as it is. And I can feel the lag. You might not be able to see it, but I can feel the lag because there is a slight delay between when I'm turning my character and the moment it turns. That's due to this ice packing CPU. Because these goblins, all of them are running at full speed, trying to locate what's the best path from which we can try to attack and kill the player. So it's created this lag in my game. But it doesn't really matter right now, does it? The gameplay is still good. So guys, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna recreate this game, not really from scratch, but I'm just gonna give a gameplay to this game according to what the top comment is gonna say. So write down what should be the gameplay for this game, and also what type of combo would you like to see when you have enabled the combo. Because for me, I'm kind of lagging in ideas right now. So whatever the top comment on this video is going to say, I'm gonna make those adjustments to this game. So the warning that I received recently in that yellow color is saying that too many navigation layer overlapping, which is causing also a huge spike on the CPU. So basically what is happening, I'm using different type of tilemap layer and they're overlapping, which means these navigation layer are overlapping. And when the goblins are trying to scan the best path, they don't really see a difference between the top layer and the bottom layer. So they're trying to navigate on both of them, even those underneath. So what the best solution is to do is keep the navigation layer on ground one only and delete it for all these other type of grounds. So you're gonna do that in all your scenes from terrain 1 to game scene 5, game scene 4. Sorry, I'm gonna delete those. It might or might not change much, but it's just gonna slightly reduce that lag that you feel, that dragging. Yeah, it's actually quite better now. Okay, it's lagging a little bit, but I feel like it's quite better than what it was actually giving me before. Right. Kind of like the way it moves. Um, kind of feel it empty. I always wanted to create a shooter game. I don't know. I have a passion for gunfire. Not in real life, of course, but I just love using gunfire. I would love to create a game with gunfire inside it. So, if any of you have, I don't know, a asset pack with gunfire, whether it's 2D arcade or top down or RPG, I'll be very pleased to work on a project where I can use guns to shoot around. It should be quite awesome. As you can see, I can kill goblins and more and more and more. Oh, the lag is killing me, to be frank. It's kind of skipping frames. I hope it's gonna run different from you, for you guys. Maybe your laptops are bad. So now what I want to do is add some signs or something just to show that you know this is Goblin territory. So I have something like that in my asset folder. Inside the texture, in the first pack that Pixel Frog made on Tiny Sword, there is those skull and bones that he made in the first pack. I'll show you. So there is that skeleton heads and bones down there, and post sign which shows like, okay, this is Goblin territory. So what we can do is create a Tilemap layer, and we're gonna add a collision physics layer to it so that it may collide or may block the player, whatever it's doing. And we're gonna add few of them here, right? I'm just gonna come here and now as you can see here they are. So we need to add them as tile map layer, but since they are not originally tile maps, so they won't really map exactly as we should, we need to set few modifications for it to actually set in the proper way. So there is this one, there is these two different type of bones. There is that half one and the other one which full. There is this post sign. So now what you need to do is match the tile size according to the size of the image. So I'm just going to experiment here. So I'm going to try 128 by 128 and it does not work. Click there, I'm going to remove that. So this image is not a 128 by 128, which is way too large for that. Even if I try to add a physics layer, it won't really work. So let's go back to setup. I think it's a 64 by maybe 64. Now, as you can see, if it's unlighting like this, which means it's kind of have like a best part. But I don't like the fact that the image is kind of split into two. So sample this one, I'm gonna go with 64 by 64. And come here and remove the tab outside of this region. Same process for the circle, which is a 198 by 198. 192. What am I talking about? So it's a 198 by 198. This one is a perfect fit actually. It's just a square. Same for these bones. I think this bone is a 64 by 64. And 28. And lastly, but I think this one also is a 64 by 64. I wish I could actually design my own. Sometimes I wish I could design my own house. I really hope I can do that. So I've been taking classes on how to do 3D modeling, 3D sculpting and also 2D drawing. I'm just learning how to draw. In the future, in the near future, I would like to be able to draw my own type of asset because of idea running through my brain, but I don't know how to actually draw them. So I really hope one day I'll make a full pack of assets and design it myself from the images to the codes to the gameplay, the voices and everything, sounds, everything that's really related to my game. I'll let you plan it from scratch. So once I reach that level, I'll be very pleased to share it with you. So I have set a collision check to these images. Now let's try to actually implement them on the game. So I'm going to come and select the tool and use this pencil tool to try to implement them. So if I zoom in, as you can see, the image is a mess. Actually a mess. No matter how I try to select, you can see it's kind of like so it might be because I set it up in the background. And for this one, it's actually properly showing. Right? Instead of showing it around the corner or whatever, you can add also the bones there and there and there. It's kind of just showing like, okay, people killed you, then now their bones are, and they are remaining still, yeah. Now, when it comes to this one, I could just basically go with the dimension given because it is 64 by 128. I don't know, maybe there is a way to do that. So let's go back to this and we're gonna do 64 by 128. It's actually working. Which is impressive. Like this one also is the 64 by 128. Oh, perfect. So now it's a full image. I don't need to split it into two. Let's just make sure that the collision shape is actually matching. So you know the drill, and you just set this to match the collision shape there. So guys, I'm gonna skip forward and design and place each of these signs on each level that I've designed around the enemy spawner, around those red regions, so that when a player is actually moving around in a scene, he knows that okay, this is a Goblin territory. So let me skip ahead, then I'll catch up once I am done. Done designing and placing all of these bones on each layer later on the game. So now if I click on start and select terrain, I'm gonna keep on turn one. Let's start the game. Now let's move down here. I'm still outside of that region, that's why it's not spawning yet. Once I'm inside the Goblin territory, they should be starting to spawn. As you can see, the first Goblin is coming. I'm just gonna kill it. Quite what I was really hoping for. I'm gonna select terrain 3, now move. I'm gonna get inside this territory. Yeah, the Goblin barrel set is spawning and try to kill him. So as you realize, the Goblin barrel kill doesn't really count. That's why I didn't find a way to implement that I'm the one who killed them. Some of the time it just come and explodes. So if I play the card where it explodes, it counts as a kill, which means I'm gonna have kills for goblins who are actually killing me instead of me killing them. But try just keep about that. So basically, for you to count for your kills to count, you have to kill goblin dodge and a goblin TNT. Killing a goblin barrel isn't really helpful at all. So the combo that I added in this game, the combo that I added is the moment you kill at least 10 goblins, it's going by 10. So if you kill 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on, it's going to, for 10 seconds, it's going to grant you the ability to shoot 3 arrows at once without charging, which means the basic 1 arrow become a 3 arrow in all directions, and the shoot is automatic. The game is done. So now I'm gonna upload this on my Patreon. Then you can find it for $5, and that will help me quite a lot. So I will upload this and the APK directly online. So guys, this is the end, and this is the gameplay as you can see in background there. I really hope you can even hear the sound of the gameplay actually. So I would love to give a massive thank to all those who support me in the previous tutorial, and I really hope for the same kind of support in this tutorial. So for the project file, you will find the link down in the description. So guys, let's catch up for our next tutorial. See you.